Welcome back to our channel, World Coins History. As you knew that old is gold, but these rare $quarter coins that are most valuable than you think, don't spend one of them. You're lucky if you have one of these, so please watch complete video and find your treasure. Let's start this. Top 1. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of US currency, and more specifically, we'll be talking about a coin that has captured the attention of collectors and investors alike. The 2022 United States of America quarter, featuring the incredible Wilma Mankiller, has become one of the most talked about coins in the numismatic world. So, why is this coin generating so much buzz? Well, stay tuned, because we're about to uncover the history, design, and astonishing value of this quarter that could be worth a lot more than you might think. Let's take a step back in time and discuss Wilma Mankiller, the woman behind the design of this quarter. Mankiller was a remarkable woman and the first female principal chief of the Cherokee Nation. Her leadership and advocacy for Native American rights have left a profound impact on the country's history. She dedicated her life to fighting for the rights of Native Americans, working to improve healthcare, education, and economic opportunities for her people. In recognition of her outstanding contributions, the U.S. Mint decided to honor her with this commemorative quarter as part of the American Women Quarters program. This program was designed to celebrate the legacy of women who have made significant contributions to American society and history. The 2022 Wilma Mankiller quarter is the first in the series, and it's already capturing the hearts of collectors everywhere. But it's not just the tribute to Wilma Mankiller that makes this coin special. It's the intricate design and rarity of the coin that's really piquing interest. On the reverse side of the quarter, you'll find a beautifully detailed image of Wilma Mankiller herself. The design features a powerful and inspiring portrait of Mankiller with the words, "Wilma Mankiller," engraved below. Alongside her portrait, there are elements symbolizing her strong connection to her Native American heritage, including the depiction of a traditional Cherokee woven shawl. This design not only honors her life but also highlights her roots and commitment to preserving her culture. Now, let's talk about the rarity of this coin. While the 2022 Wilma Mankiller quarter is still in circulation and is being minted by the U.S. Mint, its value has already begun to climb. You might wonder, why would a coin that's still in circulation be worth more than face value? The answer lies in a few factors: its limited availability in mint condition, its cultural significance, and its inclusion in the American Women Quarters program. The 2022 Wilma Mankiller quarter is already considered a highly sought-after coin by collectors because of its historical importance and the fact that it's the first in the American Women Quarter series. Coins from series like these tend to increase in value over time, especially when they honor figures who played pivotal roles in shaping American history. And, as with most rare coins, their condition plays a major role in determining their value. Coins that are in pristine, uncirculated condition, those that have never been used in everyday transactions, are particularly valuable. If you happen to find a 2022 Wilma Mankiller quarter in perfect condition, it could fetch a pretty penny on the market. And if you're lucky enough to own one of these quarters with special features, such as minting errors or unique variations, you could be holding a coin that's worth even more. Now, you might be wondering, how much is this coin really worth? Well, the value of a 2022 Wilma Mankiller quarter can range depending on the condition of the coin and whether it has any special features. In general, you might find one of these coins going for anywhere between a few dollars to a couple hundred if it's in uncirculated condition. But here's the exciting part: the rarest examples of the Wilma Mankiller quarter, especially those that are in mint condition or feature rare minting errors, can be worth an astonishing $65,000. Yes, you heard that right. A 2022 Wilma Mankiller quarter in perfect condition or with a rare feature could be valued at $65,000. It's a remarkable amount for a coin that was only minted a few years ago, but it just goes to show how much rare coins, especially those tied to significant moments in history, can appreciate in value. If you're a coin collector, this is a coin you definitely want to keep an eye out for. Whether you're searching through rolls of coins or scouring through your coin collection, make sure to examine any 2022 Wilma Mankiller quarters you come across. If you find one in excellent condition, it could be your ticket to a substantial payday. So, what makes this quarter such a valuable piece of currency? It's not just the historical significance of Wilma Mankiller herself, but also the rarity of the coin in certain conditions. And when a coin like this is part of a larger series that honors women in American history, the potential for future value just keeps growing. If you have a 2022 Wilma Mankiller quarter in your collection, it might just be time to get it appraised. Who knows? You could be sitting on a small fortune, and you wouldn't even know it. And if you haven't yet come across this gem of a coin, keep an eye out. You never know when the next big find will happen. So, there you have it. The 2022 Wilma Mankiller quarter, a tribute to an extraordinary woman and a valuable collector's item, could be worth an impressive $65,000. Top 2, we're diving deep into the world of US coins, and we've got a special gem for you, the 1972 United States quarter dollar. This coin, while seemingly simple at first glance, holds a fascinating history and has a surprising value in the collector's market. You'll want to stick around for the entire video to find out just how much this 1972 quarter is worth and why it could be worth far more than you ever imagined. Let's start with a little background on the 1972 quarter. The quarter is part of the well-known Washington series, which has been in circulation since 1932. This particular coin was minted during a unique time in American history. The early 1970s were a period of change, as the country was adjusting to the end of the post-World War II economic boom and grappling with rising inflation and shifting social dynamics. The 1972 quarter was produced during President Richard Nixon's first term in office, a time when the country was experiencing significant political and cultural transformations. What makes the 1972 quarter stand out, however, isn't necessarily the year it was minted, but rather the unusual characteristics it can have. While most 1972 quarters were produced in large quantities, some of them have become very sought after due to rare minting errors and specific variants. The U.S. Mint, at the time, wasn't exactly flawless in its production, and this led to a number of coins with unique features that collectors now cherish. One of the most significant aspects of the 1972 quarter that can impact its value is the presence of a rare doubling error. Some 1972 quarters were minted with a double die obverse, which means that the image on the front of the coin was struck more than once, creating a noticeable doubling effect in the inscriptions and the portrait of George Washington. This error is a key feature for collectors and can greatly increase the value of the coin. If you're lucky enough to come across a 1972 quarter with this double die obverse, you've got yourself a very rare find. The doubling effect can be clearly seen on the word liberty, the date, and even the motto, "In God We Trust." These coins are often in high demand because they're considered an anomaly in the history of U.S. coinage, and collectors are always on the lookout for them. Now, you might be wondering, why would a coin with a simple minting error be worth so much? The answer lies in rarity and demand. The 1972 double die quarter is not something you come across every day, and when you do, it's often in less than ideal condition. Coins that are well preserved and show the doubling error clearly are extremely valuable. In fact, these rare variants can fetch prices well above the typical value of a regular 1972 quarter. So, let's talk about the condition of the coin. Like all collectible items, the state of preservation is incredibly important when it comes to value. A well-preserved 1972 quarter that showcases the double die error will always be worth more than a quarter that's been worn down by years of circulation. If you manage to find a coin in mint or near mint condition, especially one with the doubling error, you could be looking at a significant increase in value. You might also be curious about other unique features of the 1972 quarter. Aside from the double die error, some quarters from this year feature slight variations in the way they were struck or different characteristics in the metal used. These subtle differences can also impact the coin's worth, although they might not be as obvious as the doubling error. However, as with all things in the world of coin collecting, even the smallest anomalies can make a big difference in the market. So, how much is a 1972 quarter worth? The standard 1972 quarter in average circulated condition will only be worth its face value of 25 cents. However, if you come across one with the rare double die error, you're looking at a significantly higher price. A well-preserved example of the 1972 double-die quarter can be worth anywhere from a few $100s to a few thousand, depending on its condition and the severity of the doubling. But here's the kicker: the rarest of these 1972 double-die quarters, the ones in pristine condition, can be worth as much as $76,000. That's right, $76,000 for a single quarter, just for the rarity of the era and its immaculate condition. This is a prime example of how certain coins, even those that seem ordinary, can skyrocket in value due to unique features and historical significance. If you happen to have a 1972 quarter lying around in your collection or stashed away in an old coin jar, it might be worth taking a closer look. The possibility of finding a rare double-die era quarter could lead to a significant financial reward. And even if you don't have one, knowing what to look for in future coin hunts could put you in a great position to discover a hidden treasure. So, the next time you're going through your loose change or browsing through coin shops, keep your eyes peeled for the 1972 Washington quarter, and especially for the rare double-die era. It could be a life-changing find. Top 3, we're going to take a deep dive into the 1990 United States quarter dollar, a coin that may not seem like much at first glance but could actually be worth far more than you think. This particular coin has caught the eye of collectors for its rarity, unique features, and the fascinating history behind it. Stick around because we'll be revealing just how much this quarter could potentially be worth, and trust us, it's a number you won't want to miss. Let's start by taking a look at the history of the 1990 quarter. The 1990 quarter was part of the well-known Washington quarter series, which has been in circulation for many decades. The design features George Washington's portrait on the obverse, a symbol of strength and leadership in American history. The reverse side of the coin, as many of you know, features the eagle, which is a staple of U.S. coinage. However, what makes the 1990 quarter stand out isn't the standard design, it's the potential for rarities and errors that collectors look for. In 1990, the U.S. Mint produced millions of these quarters, just like they do with most coins, and they circulated widely throughout the country. While the vast majority of these coins are still in circulation and worth just 25 cents, some of them are much rarer and more valuable. These rarities are often the result of minting errors, die variations, and other anomalies that make certain coins stand out from the crowd. The coins that feature these mistakes or unique characteristics are exactly what coin collectors search for, and they can be worth a lot more than you'd expect. One of the most sought-after 1990 quarters is one that features a die error, specifically a double die obverse. A double die error occurs when a coin is struck multiple times, causing the image on the coin to appear as though it has been doubled in certain areas. On the 1990 quarter, the doubling typically appears on the word Liberty and the date. This error is a key feature that collectors look for, as it makes the coin a unique piece in the world of numismatics. If you come across a 1990 quarter with a double die obverse, you've found yourself a valuable treasure. The doubling effect can often be seen clearly, especially on the letters of Liberty, which may have a noticeable shift or doubling in the design. This makes the coin highly desirable to collectors, and as a result, it can fetch much more than the standard quarter value. In addition to the double die error, another feature that can increase the value of a 1990 quarter is the condition of the coin. As with any rare coin, the better the condition, the higher its value. A coin that has been well preserved with little wear and tear is worth far more than one that has been in heavy circulation. Coins that are in mint or near mint condition are particularly sought after by collectors, and the 1990 quarter is no exception. While you might think that a quarter minted in 1990 is fairly recent and not worth much, you'd be surprised by how much value certain coins can hold due to rarity and condition. The key is knowing what to look for, such as minting errors or exceptional preservation. Coins like these are highly collectible, and as time goes on, they tend to increase in value as fewer of them remain in pristine condition. You might be asking yourself, how much could this 1990 quarter actually be worth? Well, the value of a standard 1990 quarter in good condition is, of course, just 25 cents. But for those rare versions with minting errors, such as the double die obverse, or for those in near perfect condition, the value can increase dramatically. The rarest and most well-preserved 1990 quarters have sold for as much as $54,000, yes, you heard that correctly, $54,000 for a single 1990 quarter. This staggering value is due to the rarity of the double die error and the condition in which the coin has been kept. As you can imagine, collectors are constantly on the lookout for these specific coins, and if you happen to find one, you could be looking at a significant payday. Now, you might be wondering how to spot one of these rare quarters in your collection or in your pocket change. The key is to examine the coin closely. Look for any doubling in the lettering or the date, especially on the word Liberty or the year 1990. If you see any signs of doubling, you could be holding onto something valuable. And, of course, always check the overall condition of the coin. A well-preserved coin with no visible damage or heavy wear will always have a higher value. So, whether you're a seasoned coin collector or just getting started, it's important to know that coins like the 1990 quarter can hold tremendous value if they have the right characteristics. And while the majority of these coins will only be worth face value, if you find one with a minting error or in pristine condition, you could be holding on to a small fortune. If you happen to have a 1990 quarter in your collection or you come across one in your coin hunts, take a moment to examine it closely. You never know, you might just have a rare, high-value coin on your hands. And if you do, make sure to get it appraised by a professional to find out its true worth. Top 4. We're talking about the 1979 United States quarter dollar, an often overlooked coin that could actually be worth a lot more than you'd expect. You might be wondering how a coin from 1979 can hold such value, and I can assure you that this coin has a fascinating backstory and hidden treasures waiting to be discovered. Stick around until the end, because we'll reveal exactly how much this quarter can be worth if you're lucky enough to find the right one. Let's first take a look at the history of the 1979 quarter. The 1979 quarter was part of the well-known Washington quarter series, which has been in circulation since 1932. The design on the coin has remained fairly consistent over the years, featuring George Washington's portrait on the obverse side. Washington, of course, is one of the most iconic figures in American history, and his image on the quarter symbolizes the strength, leadership, and unity that helped shape the United States. But while the design has remained the same for many years, it's not the typical 1979 quarter that we're focusing on today. You see, 1979 wasn't just another year in the world of coin production. It was a time when some unusual minting errors and variations started to appear in U.S. coinage. The 1979 quarter may seem like a regular coin to most people, but certain versions of it are highly sought after by collectors, and they can fetch a surprisingly high price on the market. One of the key factors that make the 1979 quarter valuable to collectors is the presence of rare minting errors, particularly the infamous double die error. A double die error occurs when the coin is struck multiple times, which can lead to a noticeable duplication of the design on the coin. In the case of the 1979 quarter, this error can be seen in the inscription Liberty and the year 1979. If you happen to find a 1979 quarter with this double die error, you've got yourself a rare and valuable coin that's worth far more than its face value. Now, let's talk about the significance of this error. Double die errors are relatively rare, which is exactly why collectors are so interested in them. Coins with this type of error are highly prized because they are unique and offer a glimpse into the production process of the U.S. Mint. These errors are often seen as anomalies in the coin's design, making them an intriguing piece for numismatists to add to their collection. If you find a 1979 quarter with this double die error, it's considered a treasure in the world of coin collecting, but it's not just the minting error that can boost the value of the 1979 quarter. The condition of the coin also plays a crucial role in determining its worth. As with all collectible coins, the better the condition, the higher the value. A coin that's in mint or near mint condition, with little to no wear or damage, will always be worth more than a coin that's been heavily circulated. The 1979 quarter is no different. If you come across one that has been well preserved, it could be worth far more than you might expect. You might be thinking, okay, so it's rare, but how much could it actually be worth? Well, the standard 1979 quarter in good condition will only fetch you its face value of 25 cents. However, when you add in the minting error or exceptional condition, the value can skyrocket. A regular 1979 quarter with no errors might still be worth a few dollars to collectors, but the real value comes from the rare versions of the coin. If you find a 1979 quarter with the double die error, you could be looking at a value of up to several $1,000s. But here's the big reveal: some of the rarest and most well-preserved 1979 quarters with this double die error have been known to sell for a staggering $69,000. That's right, $69,000 for a single coin. It's an incredible amount of money for a quarter that might just be sitting in your collection or hiding in your spare change. The rarity of these coins and the collector demand for them is what drives their extraordinary value. So, how can you spot one of these valuable coins? If you happen to come across a 1979 quarter, it's important to look closely at the design. Pay special attention to the word Liberty and the year 1979 on the coin. If you notice any signs of doubling or an overlapping of the numbers or letters, that could indicate the double die error. The error is usually quite noticeable, so if you spot it, you've found a potential treasure. But even if your 1979 quarter doesn't have the double die error, don't write it off just yet. As we mentioned earlier, the condition of the coin is just as important. Coins that have been well preserved, with little to no wear, are always worth more than those that have been in circulation for years. So, even without the minting error, a pristine 1979 quarter could still hold a surprising value for collectors who appreciate coins in excellent condition. Now, you may be wondering what to do if you find a rare 1979 quarter with the double die error or one in pristine condition. The best thing to do is to have the coin appraised by a professional numismatist or take it to a reputable coin dealer. They can help you determine the true value of the coin and guide you through the selling process if you choose to part with it, and there you have it. The 1979 United States quarter dollar may seem like a simple coin, but if you find one with the double die error or in exceptional condition, you could be holding onto a small fortune. To recap, a 1979 quarter with a minting error or in near-mint condition could be worth as much as $69,000. It's a reminder that sometimes the most unexpected coins hold the greatest value. Top 5. We're diving into the fascinating world of the 1995 United States quarter dollar, an often overlooked coin that could be worth much more than you'd expect. It may seem like just another quarter, but the 1995 quarter has some hidden secrets that make it a sought-after gem in the world of numismatics. Stick with us, and we'll reveal exactly why this particular quarter could be worth a jaw-dropping amount of money. Before we get into the potential value of this coin, let's take a moment to talk about the history behind the 1995 United States quarter dollar. The design of this coin was part of the well-established Washington quarter series, which has been around since 1932. The obverse side features the iconic portrait of George Washington, the first President of the United States. His likeness is featured on the quarter as a symbol of the country's leadership and strength. But the real focus here is not just the typical design, it's the rare errors and specific characteristics that collectors are constantly on the lookout for. The 1995 quarter, like most coins, was produced in large quantities, and millions were circulated across the country. So why would a quarter from 1995 be anything special? Well, it turns out that some versions of this coin have minting errors or rare features that can make them worth much more than face value. Many of the quarters from this year were struck with slight design variations, and collectors are keen to find those that differ from the typical issue. If you happen to find a 1995 quarter with a unique feature or error, you could be holding on to a valuable piece of history. One of the most notable minting errors that collectors are searching for in the 1995 quarter is the double die error. This occurs when the coin is struck more than once, causing the image on the coin to appear doubled in specific areas. For the 1995 quarter, the doubling typically appears on the word Liberty and the date itself. If you have a sharp eye and spot this error, you could be looking at a coin that is worth far more than just 25 cents. Now, let's talk a bit more about this double die error. If you find a 1995 quarter with noticeable doubling in the design, especially on the letters of Liberty or the year 1995, you've found something that's highly desirable to collectors. These kinds of minting errors are relatively rare, which is why they're so valuable in the coin market. Coins with this type of anomaly are often seen as a mistake during production, making them a fascinating and unique addition to any collection, but it's not just about the minting errors. Condition plays a huge role in determining how much a coin is worth. As with any collectible, the better the condition of the coin, the more valuable it becomes. If you have a 1995 quarter that's been kept in mint or near mint condition, it could be worth significantly more than the same coin that's been circulating for decades. So, when examining a 1995 quarter, make sure to pay attention to its condition. If it's in pristine shape, it could be much more valuable than you think. You're probably wondering how much this 1995 quarter could really be worth. Well, a standard 1995 quarter in average condition will be worth, of course, just 25 cents. But for those rare examples with the double die error or those in mint condition, the value can jump dramatically. Coins with these types of minting anomalies or those that have been carefully preserved can reach impressive prices. And now, for the big reveal, if you happen to find a 1995 quarter with a minting error or in pristine condition, it could be worth as much as $51,000, yes, you heard that right, $51,000 for a single coin. This astonishing value comes from the rarity of the double die error and the high demand from collectors who are eager to get their hands on a coin with such a unique feature. The value is driven not only by the rarity but also by the historical significance of the minting mistake. These coins are considered valuable pieces of American numismatic history, and owning one can be quite the accomplishment for any serious collector. So, how can you tell if your 1995 quarter is one of these rare finds? Look closely at the design, especially the word Liberty and the date, 1995. If you notice any doubling, that's a clear sign of the double die error. You should also check the overall condition of the coin. If it looks like it's barely been touched and has been carefully preserved over the years, it could fetch a pretty penny in the right market. Now, what should you do if you find one of these valuable 1995 quarters? The best thing you can do is get it appraised by a professional. There are plenty of coin dealers and numismatists who can help you determine the exact value of your coin. If it's indeed a rare, mint condition 1995 quarter, you'll want to make sure it's properly evaluated and authenticated before selling it. The world of rare coins is an exciting one, and the 1995 quarter is just one example of how seemingly ordinary coins can turn out to be worth a small fortune. So, the next time you're sorting through your change or going through your collection, be sure to keep an eye out for this particular quarter. It may just be the valuable find you've been looking for. Top 6, we're taking a deep dive into the world of the 1984 United States quarter dollar. While most quarters from this year are often just traded as pocket change, some are holding a secret, one that could make them worth far more than you'd ever expect. If you've ever wondered about the true value of your pocket change, then stay tuned, because we're about to reveal the surprising worth of the 1984 quarter. Let's kick things off by talking about the design of this iconic coin. The 1984 United States quarter dollar was part of the Washington Quarter series, which has been in circulation for decades. As you probably know, the obverse of the coin features the classic image of George Washington, the first president of the United States. His image has graced the quarter since the series first started in 1932. But while the design has remained consistent for many years, the real value of a coin doesn't always come from its appearance. It's often about the rare variants and unique characteristics that lie beneath the surface. So, what makes the 1984 quarter special? Well, it's not just the design, it's the minting errors, rare variations, and the condition that make this coin worth much more than its face value. Coins that were produced in large numbers, like the 1984 quarter, often have little to no value beyond their 25-cent denomination. But when you add in some unusual minting mistakes, things start to get interesting. The 1984 quarter is one of those coins that has some hidden treasures waiting to be discovered. One of the most valuable variants of the 1984 quarter is one with a rare minting error. Minting errors occur when something goes wrong during the coin's production, and the result is a mistake in the design or features of the coin. These mistakes can range from minor flaws to major design errors, and they can make a coin incredibly valuable. The 1984 quarter is particularly known for some interesting errors, including off-center strikes, doubling, and other anomalies. The off-center strike error happens when the coin is struck outside of the normal die position. This can cause the design to be off-center, leaving the coin with a distorted look that's easily noticeable. If you find a 1984 quarter with this off-center error, you're already holding a coin that has significantly more value than a regular, non-error version. Coins like these are highly sought after by collectors because they represent a flaw in the minting process, making them unique and rare. Another error that can increase the value of a 1984 quarter is doubling. If the coin was struck more than once during the minting process, it can result in double images on the coin, usually noticeable in the inscriptions or numbers. This type of error, known as a double die, can significantly increase the coin's value. Collectors are always on the lookout for these types of mistakes because they are so rare and make for a one-of-a-kind piece in their collection, but it's not just the minting errors that make the 1984 quarter valuable. The condition of the coin is just as important when determining its worth. If the coin is well preserved and in mint or near mint condition, it's far more valuable than a quarter that has been circulated for decades. Coins in pristine condition, with no signs of wear, tarnish, or damage, are always in high demand among collectors. The 1984 quarter, if well kept, could be worth many times more than its face value. So, you might be asking, how much could a 1984 quarter really be worth? Well, for the most part, a standard 1984 quarter in typical condition will only fetch you its face value, 25 cents. However, if you're lucky enough to find a 1984 quarter with one of the rare minting errors, such as an off-center strike or a double die, or if you have a coin in near-perfect condition, the value can skyrocket. Collectors will pay a premium for these rarer versions because they are harder to find and represent a unique part of coin history. Now, let's get to the big reveal. How much could a rare 1984 quarter actually be worth? If you happen to find a quarter from this year with one of those rare minting errors, or if it's in pristine condition, it could be worth as much as $61,000. That's right, $61,000 for a single 1984 quarter. It's a staggering amount for a coin that, at first glance, might seem like just another piece of pocket change. But the rarity of the error and the demand among collectors can turn it into an incredible find. So, what should you do if you think you found a valuable 1984 quarter? The first thing you should do is carefully examine it for any signs of minting errors, such as off-center strikes or doubling. If you notice anything unusual or unique, it's worth getting the coin professionally appraised by a numismatist or coin dealer. These experts can help you determine whether your coin is truly valuable and guide you through the process of selling or auctioning it if you decide to part with it. The world of rare coins is full of surprises, and the 1984 United States quarter dollar is a prime example of how a simple coin can hold hidden value. The next time you're going through your change or digging through your collection, take a closer look at any 1984 quarters you might have. You never know, what seems like just a regular quarter could turn out to be worth a small fortune. Top 7. We have an exciting journey ahead as we uncover the hidden value of a coin you might find lying around in your spare change, a 1986 United States quarter dollar. This coin may seem like just another piece of currency, but believe it or not, it could be hiding a treasure worth far more than its face value. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll be amazed at just how valuable this seemingly ordinary quarter can be. Let's start by exploring the history behind the 1986 quarter. Released as part of the long-running Washington Quarter series, this coin features the iconic portrait of George Washington, who has been the face of the quarter since the series began in 1932. Washington's portrait is meant to honor the first president of the United States, and it's a powerful symbol of the country's founding principles. On the reverse side of the 1986 quarter, you'll see the classic eagle perched proudly, embodying American strength and freedom. This design has become so familiar that most of us barely take a second glance when we come across it in our pockets. But what if I told you that some of these quarters have a hidden value that could make you rethink what you're carrying around? Now, we need to address something crucial that could be the key to unlocking the true worth of a 1986 quarter: errors and rare variations. Every so often, during the minting process, something goes wrong, and the result is a coin that stands out from the rest. These error coins are what collectors live for. The 1986 quarter, while produced in large numbers, is not immune to minting mistakes. In fact, certain varieties and errors make this coin much more valuable to collectors who are always on the lookout for these hidden gems. So, let's break down some of the key elements that could make your 1986 quarter incredibly valuable. One of the most sought-after features in the coin world is the famous double die error. This occurs when the coin is struck more than once, causing the image to appear doubled or blurry. For the 1986 quarter, the double die error typically shows up in the word Liberty or the date 1986. If you happen to find a 1986 quarter with noticeable doubling, you've got yourself a coin that's worth far more than just 25 cents. These doubled coins are rare, and that rarity makes them highly desirable to collectors. The allure of finding a double die coin is immense, and owning one is like discovering a hidden treasure, but that's not all. Another error that can significantly increase the value of a 1986 quarter is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin is not properly aligned during the minting process, resulting in the design being shifted off-center. Off-center strikes are distinctive and make the coin look like it was made in error, which is precisely what makes them so valuable. If you're lucky enough to find a 1986 quarter with an off-center strike, you found a coin that is a true rarity in the world of coin collecting. Aside from these minting errors, the condition of the coin also plays a vital role in determining its value. As with any collectible, a coin's worth increases significantly when it is in excellent condition. A 1986 quarter that has been carefully preserved and is in near mint or mint condition is worth much more than a coin that's been heavily circulated. Coins in pristine condition have sharp, clear details, minimal wear, and a beautiful shine, features that are highly prized by collectors. So, the next time you come across a 1986 quarter, take a good look at it to see if it's in top condition. It could make all the difference when it comes to value. So, you're probably wondering, just how much could a 1986 quarter be worth? Well, the value depends largely on the type of error it has, its condition, and the demand in the market. While a standard 1986 quarter in average condition will only be worth its face value of 25 cents, things get exciting when you're dealing with a rare minting error or a coin in perfect condition. A coin with an off-center strike, a double die error, or other rare characteristics could be worth much more than you'd expect. In fact, a highly valuable 1986 quarter, especially one in pristine condition or with a rare minting error, could be worth as much as $59,000, yes, that's right, $59,000 for a single 1986 quarter. This might seem unbelievable for a coin that many people take for granted, but when you think about it, the rarity and uniqueness of these error coins make them a prized possession for serious collectors. The demand for these rare coins is strong, and collectors are willing to pay top dollar to own them. So, what should you do if you find a 1986 quarter that you suspect could be worth more than just 25 cents? First and foremost, take the time to carefully examine it for any minting errors or signs of unique features, such as doubling or an off-center strike. Look at the design carefully and see if any areas of the coin stand out. If you're unsure whether your coin has an error, it's a good idea to consult with a professional coin dealer or numismatist. They can help you authenticate the coin and determine its true value. And remember, even if your 1986 quarter doesn't have any visible errors, its condition still matters. If it's been kept in great shape, it might still be worth more than a typical circulated quarter. So, don't toss that quarter aside, check its condition, and you could be sitting on a valuable coin. The world of coin collecting is filled with fascinating discoveries, and the 1986 United States quarter dollar is a perfect example of how a simple coin can hold hidden value. So, the next time you're going through your spare change or sorting through your collection, keep an eye out for this particular quarter. You never know, what might seem like just another coin could turn out to be worth $59,000. Top 8. We're diving deep into the world of the 1970 United States quarter dollar, a coin that may look ordinary at first glance, but could actually be worth a small fortune. Many people are unaware that certain coins from this year have an incredible value, and today, we're going to reveal just how much your 1970 quarter could be worth. Trust me, by the end of this video, you'll be keeping a much closer eye on your quarters. To start, let's take a look at the 1970 quarter's design. Like most quarters in the United States, the 1970 quarter features the iconic profile of George Washington, the first President of the United States. The obverse of the coin displays Washington's portrait, and his image has been the cornerstone of the quarter series since 1932. On the reverse side, you'll find the image of an eagle, which symbolizes the strength, freedom, and pride of the United States. While this design is well known and has remained consistent for decades, the real value of the 1970 quarter is hidden beneath the surface, sometimes literally. You might be asking yourself, what makes the 1970 quarter so special? Well, while many quarters from this year were produced in massive quantities, some of them were struck with rare and unique errors during the minting process. Minting errors are what make certain coins incredibly valuable, and the 1970 quarter is no exception. Error coins have an allure that standard, flawless coins don't. They're anomalies, mistakes in the minting process that can turn a regular coin into a one-of-a-kind collector's item. The most common and valuable error for the 1970 quarter is the double die error. This occurs when the coin is struck more than once during the minting process, causing the design to appear doubled or blurred. Double die errors are highly prized by collectors because they're rare and are considered a significant part of coin history. If you happen to have a 1970 quarter with a noticeable double die error, you could be holding onto a coin that's worth far more than just 25 cents. The doubling typically shows up in the inscriptions around the coin, like the word Liberty or the date 1970. If you spot these signs of doubling, congratulations, your quarter just went from a regular coin to a valuable piece of history. In addition to the double die error, another error that can make the 1970 quarter worth a lot more is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin is misaligned during the minting process, causing the design to be off-center and leaving part of the coin blank or missing details. Off-center strikes are highly collectible because they make the coin stand out from the rest. If you find a 1970 quarter with an off-center strike, it's not just another piece of pocket change, it could be a highly sought-after item in the numismatic world. The condition of the coin also plays a huge role in its value. Coins that have been well preserved, free from wear and tear, and kept in mint condition are much more valuable than those that have been heavily circulated. A 1970 quarter that has been carefully stored or kept in great condition could be worth a lot more than the typical quarter you might find in your pocket. If you come across a 1970 quarter that still shines brightly and has crisp details, it's worth holding onto and getting appraised by a professional numismatist or coin dealer. So, how much could a 1970 quarter actually be worth? While most of these coins will only fetch you 25 cents, it's the rare minting errors and the coin's condition that can really make a difference. If you have a 1970 quarter with a double die error, off-center strike, or any other unique characteristics, you could be looking at a significantly higher value. Coins like these can be sold for thousands of dollars, and in some cases, they can fetch even more. In fact, a rare 1970 quarter in mint condition or with a major error could be worth as much as $78,000. Yes, you read that correctly, $78,000 for a single 1970 quarter. It's hard to believe, but when you consider the rarity of these errors and the high demand among collectors, it's clear why this coin can command such a hefty price. So, if you've got a 1970 quarter lying around in your collection, or if you come across one in your spare change, make sure to take a closer look. You might just be sitting on a small fortune. The world of coin collecting is full of hidden gems, and the 1970 United States quarter dollar is a perfect example of how a seemingly ordinary coin can hold incredible value. Whether it's due to a minting error or simply because it's in excellent condition, this coin has the potential to be worth a lot more than you might think. So, if you're lucky enough to find a 1970 quarter that stands out for its rarity, condition, or minting error, don't just spend it. Have it professionally appraised to see if you've uncovered one of these rare and valuable coins. You could be looking at a treasure worth $78,000. Top 9. We're going to take a closer look at a coin that could be sitting right under your nose, possibly hiding in your spare change, a 1965 United States quarter dollar. This coin might look like any other quarter, but there's a lot more to it than meets the eye. By the end of this video, you'll be amazed at just how much this seemingly ordinary coin could be worth. So, let's dive in and explore the hidden treasure behind the 1965 quarter. To begin, let's set the stage with a little history. The 1965 quarter was minted during a significant time in U.S. history. This was the year when the United States made a pivotal change in its coinage, specifically, the move to a clad composition. Prior to 1965, quarters were made primarily from silver. But due to the rising cost of silver and a shortage in supply, the U.S. Mint decided to change the composition of quarters, dimes, and half dollars. In 1965, quarters were struck with a copper-nickel clad composition, meaning they were no longer composed of 90% silver. This change was implemented to help save on precious metal and reduce costs for the government. While the shift from silver to clad coins was a major change, the 1965 quarter still retained its familiar design. On the obverse side, you'll find the famous portrait of George Washington, which has graced the quarter since 1932. Washington's image is accompanied by the inscription Liberty and the year of mintage, 1965. On the reverse, you'll see the familiar eagle design, symbolizing the strength and freedom of the United States. The eagle is depicted with its wings spread wide, perched on a bundle of arrows, ready to protect the nation. It's a design that we've come to associate with the quarter, and for many, it's a comforting reminder of the country's rich history. So, why is the 1965 quarter so important? While most of the quarters from this year are fairly common, there are a few key factors that could make this coin extraordinarily valuable. The key to understanding the value of a 1965 quarter lies in a few potential errors that were struck during its production. Minting errors, as you may know, can make a coin extremely rare and highly sought after by collectors. In fact, these errors can sometimes cause a coin to be worth thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars. One of the most exciting errors that collectors look for in a 1965 quarter is the double die error. This happens when a coin is struck more than once, causing the design to appear doubled or blurry in some areas. With a double die error, the details of Washington's portrait or the inscriptions, such as Liberty and In God We Trust, can appear distorted or duplicated. Double die coins are incredibly rare and can be worth a significant amount of money, depending on the severity of the error. If you happen to find a 1965 quarter with a noticeable double die, congratulations, you could be holding a coin worth far more than its face value. Another key error that can make the 1965 quarter worth a lot more is the off-center strike. This occurs when the coin is misaligned during the minting process, causing the design to be shifted off-center. The result is a coin with part of its image missing or significantly out of place. Off-center strikes are highly collectible because they are unique and visually striking. If you find a 1965 quarter with an off-center strike, you found a piece of history that could be worth much more than just a regular quarter. Additionally, the condition of the coin plays a major role in determining its value. Coins that have been preserved in near-perfect condition are always in high demand. A 1965 quarter in mint or near-mint condition will fetch a much higher price than a coin that's been worn down from years of circulation. The sharpness of the details, the brightness of the design, and the absence of scratches or other signs of wear are all factors that can drive up the value of the coin. If you come across a 1965 quarter that looks like it was just freshly minted, then you found something that could be worth a pretty penny. Now, you're probably wondering, how much can a 1965 quarter actually be worth? Well, while most of these quarters will only fetch you 25 cents if they're in average condition, things get much more exciting when you factor in minting errors and rarity. A 1965 quarter with a double die error, an off-center strike, or other rare characteristics could fetch thousands of dollars on the market. And when you consider a coin in pristine condition with a rare error, the value can skyrocket. In fact, the value of a 1965 quarter with certain errors and in top condition could be as much as $88,000, yes, you heard that right, $88,000 for a single 1965 quarter. This isn't just a hypothetical figure, there are actual examples of 1965 quarters selling for this amount, especially those with significant minting errors. The rarity of these coins, combined with the growing demand from collectors, makes them a highly coveted item in the world of numismatics. So, if you have a 1965 quarter lying around in your collection or hidden in your loose change jar, it's worth taking a closer look. Check for any signs of doubling, off-center strikes, or other unique features that could indicate an error. Even if your 1965 quarter doesn't have any obvious errors, remember that its condition still matters. If it's been well kept and is in mint condition, it could still be worth more than you think. If you're unsure whether your 1965 quarter is valuable, it's always a good idea to consult with a professional coin dealer or numismatist. They can help authenticate the coin and assess its value. Don't let a potential treasure slip through your fingers simply because you didn't take the time to inspect it properly. The world of coin collecting is full of surprises, and the 1965 United States quarter dollar is a perfect example of how an ordinary coin can become a valuable collector's item. Whether it's due to a minting error or simply because it's in great condition, this coin has the potential to be worth far more than you could ever imagine. So, the next time you find a 1965 quarter, give it a second look. You could be holding onto a coin worth $88,000. Top 10 and last rare coin. We're diving deep into the fascinating world of US coins, and this time, we've got something truly special to discuss. We're talking about the 1974 United States quarter dollar, a coin that may seem like just another regular quarter, but believe me, there's a lot more to this one than meets the eye. Whether you're an experienced collector or a newcomer to the world of rare coins, you're going to want to stick around, because by the end of this video, we'll reveal just how much a 1974 quarter could be worth. Trust me, you won't believe your eyes. Let's start with some history. The 1974 quarter was minted during an important period in American history. In 1974, the U.S. Mint was continuing to produce coins as part of the regular coinage program, but this year marked the middle of a turbulent decade in American politics and economics. While most quarters produced during this time were struck with the standard 90% copper and 10% nickel composition, a key aspect of this coin's value has to do with a rare occurrence during the minting process. And you'll be surprised to learn that something as small as a minting error can turn an ordinary coin into a rare treasure worth thousands. But first, let's talk about the design. The 1974 quarter, like all quarters from this era, features the timeless portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan. Washington's likeness has been a staple of the quarter since 1932 and remains one of the most recognizable coin designs in the world. On the reverse, you'll find the iconic eagle, perched with its wings spread wide, symbolizing the strength and independence of the United States. This is the classic design that most of us think of when we picture a quarter, and it's easy to overlook just how much value these coins could hold. So, what makes the 1974 quarter stand out in the world of coin collecting? Well, here's where things get interesting. While most 1974 quarters are fairly common and carry only their face value of 25 cents, certain rare minting errors can make these coins extremely valuable. The key to unlocking the value of your 1974 quarter lies in whether it was struck with any significant errors during the minting process. Errors like double dies, off-center strikes, and other irregularities are what collectors are on the lookout for. These anomalies can make a seemingly normal coin into a rare, highly sought-after treasure. One of the most notable errors that can be found in 1974 quarters is the double die error. This occurs when the die used to strike the coin is misaligned, causing parts of the design to appear doubled. The result is a coin with a blurred or duplicated image, especially in areas like the word liberty or in God we trust. Double die errors are some of the most coveted and valuable minting mistakes, and collectors will pay a premium for these kinds of coins. If you happen to find a 1974 quarter with a noticeable double die, you could be looking at a very valuable coin. Another error that can increase the value of your 1974 quarter is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin is not properly aligned during the minting process, causing the design to be struck off-center. As a result, part of the coin's design may be missing or distorted. Off-center strikes are rare and unique, making them highly desirable among collectors. If you have a 1974 quarter with an off-center strike, you might have a coin that stands out in a collection and is worth significantly more than face value, but it's not just the errors that can make the 1974 quarter valuable. The overall condition of the coin is just as important. Coins that have been carefully stored and preserved in excellent condition are always worth more than those that have been heavily circulated. A 1974 quarter in pristine, uncirculated condition will attract the attention of serious collectors and can fetch a premium price. The more vibrant the coin's original luster, the higher its value. A coin that has been well preserved over the years is far more desirable than one that has been worn down from heavy use. Now, here's the exciting part: the value. While most 1974 quarters are worth their face value, the rare errors and high-quality condition of certain coins can make them incredibly valuable. A 1974 quarter with a notable minting error or in near-perfect condition could be worth tens of thousands of dollars. In fact, some of these rare coins have been known to sell for up to $72,000, yes, you heard that right, $72,000. Imagine holding a 1974 quarter that could fetch that kind of price. It's hard to believe, but it's true. The rarity of these minting errors, combined with the demand from collectors, makes this coin a valuable gem in the numismatic world. So, if you happen to have a 1974 quarter with any unusual characteristics, whether it's a double die, an off-center strike, or simply a coin in excellent condition, don't spend it without taking a closer look. For anyone who is unsure about the value of their 1974 quarter, it's always a good idea to consult with a professional coin dealer or numismatist. They can help identify whether your coin has any errors or if it's simply a well-preserved example of a 1974 quarter. Even a coin that's in good condition but doesn't have a minting error can still be worth more than you think, especially if it's rare or difficult to find in top condition. In conclusion, the 1974 United States quarter dollar is a perfect example of how an ordinary coin can have extraordinary value. Whether it's due to a rare minting error, its condition, or the sheer rarity of the coin, this piece of history can fetch a pretty penny. So, next time you come across a 1974 quarter, take a moment to inspect it closely. It could be worth far more than 25 cents, and you might just find yourself holding a coin worth $72,000. Thank you for joining us on today's journey into the world of rare coins. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and ring the notification bell so you never miss out on our future coin discoveries. Who knows? Your next 1974 quarter could be worth $72,000. Happy collecting!